Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cider channel and welcome to a new video. This is the first video and quite possibly the only video I am going to post in 2024. It has been a year. I have realized that somewhere along the course of the last couple of years since I graduated in 22 that I have developed this like really weird anxiety about creating, and it has only gotten worse in the last 2 years, and I do think that it has been stemmed from just how curated and perfected every like online content in general has become. It's just been hard. It's been hard for me to create this year. And so, you know, with it being November, part of my perfectionist brain is like, okay, let's wait, like January, we're going to kick it off strong. Like January 2025 is going to be my year, but I'm really trying to challenge myself to sit down and not give up and not just write the rest of 2024 off as like a loss and not create anything for this channel. So today's video is going to be me sitting down and challenging my perfectionism and challenging this like extreme irrational anxiety that I have developed, and just make a simple short video. So it is currently 8:40 a.m. on Saturday, November 10th, and I have a very short, very simple to-do list for today's day in the life cozy fall reading vlog. I am currently reading a book called Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. It is book 2 in the Emily Wilde series. If you don't know, the first book is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I read that with a book club for October and I freaking loved it. It was so good. I will talk more about it as I get into it. The next element of this vlog that I think is going to be really fun is at the beginning of this weekend I got in my head that I really wanted to try making vegan apple cider donuts. And then the last thing that I have on this list is just to go for a short walk outside and record the leaves before they're gone, because I'm going to spin you around really quick and show you my view from outside my window. But it's so gorgeous. A lot of the trees in my town are at like peak fall colors, and I really want to get some video of them before they're all gone and it becomes stick season. So here, let me show you. Look at that color. Look at them. They're so pretty, and there's some really, really gorgeous yellow leaves on the left side of this building. I'm gonna go out later and take a little bit of video underneath them because I've been saying that I wanted to. Every day I pull into my parking spot and I should just do it. So that is the agenda for today's cozy day in the life fall reading vlog. I'm gonna start off this reading vlog. I've already had a cup of coffee today, but I am going to go ahead and go make myself a good tea. And then I'm gonna curl up in this chair right behind my camera and just read for a little bit and just start the day off calm, because again, I've already had some wicked anxiety sitting here for no good reason. So I'm gonna try to bring that internal stress level down and just read a little bit. This is ridiculous. All right, so it's a couple minutes to 10 a.m. now, and I got hungry, so I decided to make some good old classic Quaker apples and cinnamon oatmeal, because I guess I'm really leaning into an apple theme for today's video. I guess while I am waiting for this to cool a little bit, let's chat about the book that I'm reading. If you don't know what the Emily Wilde series is about, it is a book that follows Emily Wilde, who is a professor at Cambridge University, so it's set in England, and she is a professor of dryadology, which is the study of fairies. And her whole career is going around the world and studying different fae species in different areas. And the first book is focused on her trying to create an encyclopedia of fairies, as the name suggests. And so she's going around and documenting for this scholarly work. But she initially sets out on the expedition, just her and her fairy dog named Shadow. In my brain, I'm imagining like a black Great Pyrenees, kind of like big, fluffy dog, but he's actually like a fairy. Anyways, so the two of them set out to this little town to study fairies. But, you know, one of the things that drew me in about this book is that it's kind of like a scholarly enemies to lovers kind of thing. And it's not even really enemies, it's more like rivals to lovers. So this is a solo, just me and my dog kind of expedition for Emily initially. But she does have this academic rival named Wendell Bamblebee. And eventually Wendell just shows up at her little cottage that she's staying in. He's like, I think you would need some help. She's disgruntled about it. She's like, I didn't ask you to show up, Wendell. Like, this is not about you. And they eventually just like go off and do the entire like expedition on their own. And I'm not gonna spoil the plot, but the thing that I love the most about this book, number one, people said it was too wordy. I am a literary nerd, I am a grammar nerd, I am a collector of words, and I'm sure there's a word to describe that. Put it on the screen. But I love like obscure and archaic English language, so I get a kick out of all of the crazy words that come up in this book. And then the other thing I love is obviously that kind of like rivals to lovers energy. And I freaking love these characters so much. They are so good. They're so 3D. They have their own distinct personalities. When I read this book, I genuinely am so immersed in the plot and in the world. That's not something every author can do well, I'll say. But I think Heather Fawcett, the author of this series, just does a chef's kiss job at making an immersive world and making characters that are just so well-rounded and so unique. If anybody has ever watched Loki, I don't, like, this is not correct. I know that this is not correct because in the book Wendell has like golden hair, but I 100% imagine Wendell as Loki, even though Loki has black hair. But like Wendell just gives Loki energy because like he can manipulate time, he's very witty, he's very sarcastic, he's like a charming asshole is how I always describe him. Like, he is so witty and so fun, and I genuinely have so much fun reading Wendell as a character. And then the fact that Emily, our main character, is kind of like a foil of him in that like she's not the witty one, she's like the curmudgeon, she's like the I am just about my research, like whatever, like this is just objective, like I'm not here to make friends kind of situation. And Wendell goes around anywhere they are and charms all these people and has the whole town talking and gathering around him. Like they're such antonyms of each other, but like I love that, and they bring out the best in each other, and that just makes me swoon like so much. I love it so much. So that's book one, and this second book that I'm reading now, Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, is now Emily has published her Encyclopedia of Fairies from the first book, and now she's trying to set out on an a different expedition now with more characters, Wendell, her, Shadow, and some more characters. And now she's trying to make a map of what we call fairy doors. And the fairy doors lead to different realms, and she has this theory that there is a nexus, which means like there is a central point where all fairy doors can like lead to. And the fairy doors themselves are not actual like doors, like human doors. They're kind of like subtle hints in the environment that like a skilled dryadologist would only be able to pick up on. Like, they're just weird little, how would I say? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a, damn. There's a word that I'm searching for. Oh, anomaly. Okay, God, my brain is like on overtime just trying to describe this book. The fairy doors are weird little anomalies in the landscape that a skilled dryadologist would only be able to pick up on. So it's not like a physical door that you can like open and it leads to like a specific place on the other side. Fairy doors are weird anomalies, so you have to search for them, you have to have a skilled eye, and they also move. So her goal is to make kind of like a crude map of where fairy doors are at this time, so that people would be able to go back and like kind of search and see how they move. And also one of the driving factors of this book is that there was this very acclaimed and also kind of controversial dryadologist. Her name was de Grey. I forget her first name. But anyway, she disappeared in the place that they're searching and researching in this book, and they're trying to find her. And she had made kind of like a crude map of fairy doors in this area that they are also trying to like go back and discover, because it was kind of de Grey's idea in the first place originally that a nexus existed, and most people in this field were like, that's impossible, like fairy worlds are not connected, like they are limited to where they are in geographic place, they don't travel between like continents and stuff. And de Grey was like, wrong. But in her research she just disappeared and nobody ever saw her again after she had made this like map of the area that they're in now. And so Emily and Wendell and Emily's niece and Emily's colleague that she kind of can't stand are all in this place trying to follow de Grey's map from however long ago, a couple decades ago, and find her and make this map. And then there's also like some other plot stuff happening with Wendell, but that's kind of spoiler from what happened in the first book, so I'm not going to talk about it. So that is the TLDR of the 2 books, and I am so excited to be reading this book because the 3rd and final book in the series is getting published early next year. But yeah, those are my updates so far. I kind of roped you into what the book is, and now I'm going to eat my oatmeal and keep reading. Hello. Okay, wait, I need my phone. What time is it? It's now 12:30. I was just sitting at my desk eating some leftovers from last night, and I was thinking, okay, after I eat, I'm gonna go take my little walk outside. And in that moment, I had gotten a notification on my phone, and I looked, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect, actually. It was from my local bookstore here in town called Grassroots, and I have notifications on for them on Instagram, and they are holding an event in 30 minutes. It is a poetry reading for some local authors here in my town, and it sounded like the poetry book was gonna be really cool, so I was like, you know what? We can go to that, it's free, it takes me like 20 minutes to walk downtown to the bookstore, and that way I get to go into the bookstore in this vlog. So that is now the little walk plan. I'm gonna quickly get ready. First of all though, I love this sweater I got, it's new, but I'm gonna put on some earrings that match it so well. Let's see if it focuses on this. Can you see this? It's a little fairy door. I got these earrings from a creator, they're on Instagram, their handle is at the Midnight Glen. I am obsessed. I will be buying more earrings, but I figured that this would be not only a perfect sweater or earring to match my sweater, but also fairy door. I'm reading a fairy book, like perfect. How much more perfect could it get? All right, I think I'm ready. Got my little eye makeup on, my fairy earrings, brown sweatshirt, and also look how perfect. Brown boots, I love it. I look so cozy, I feel so cozy. Let's go to the bookstore. now 2:50 p.m. and it feels and looks so dark outside. Nevertheless, the day is still young and I have a couple of books to show you because who can go to a bookstore without getting a book? Hello. The funny thing that I forgot to mention before I left because I was kind of in a hurry to get there on time is that I actually was at that bookstore yesterday. Today is Sunday. I was there yesterday on Saturday and I picked up one of these books yesterday and I didn't film because of the anxiety that I've been talking about. I was like, I can't film in public. That is overwhelming. I'm afraid. Like, I just can't do it. So be proud of me. I was very brave today and I took the B-roll clips that you saw a couple of seconds ago and I conquered my anxiety. I'm doing so well today, guys. So anyway, this first book I actually picked up at the same bookstore yesterday and it was the last one in stock. I just thought it was so cute as we're going into winter, December, and it's black. It's black main characters. This book is called Love in Winter Wonderland. This one's by Abiola Bello, I think. I saw the cover, I saw a black boy and a black girl, I saw that it was Bookstore, I saw that it was winter themed, and I said, give it to me immediately, yes. I will put the synopsis up on the screen, but essentially it just seems like a little cute black romance in winter set in a bookstore, and they have to team up to keep this bookstore open, and yeah. And then for the other book that I just got was also pretty funny because yesterday when I picked up that book, I was eyeing this one, and I was like, it's expensive, I don't really need it, like, I have other things that I'm reading right now, I'm not gonna get it. And then, you know, as fate has it, I came back to the store again the next day and I was like, okay, fine, I guess I'm gonna get it. I am late, but I got Fourth Wing. This is by Rebecca Yarros. I think this has stolen BookTube, Book Talk. It had its moment. I know that I am late to the game. It's already in paperback, so I'm at least a year late. I don't know when this was published, but it has been intriguing. It's been on my radar. It's been a book that I've seen a lot of people read and have good things to say about, some critical things to say about. I read a preview of this book on Kindle because I wasn't committed to buying it yet, but the preview that I read I liked, so I was like, okay, you know, whatever, we'll see what it's about, and I got it a little bit cheaper because now it is in paperback, but still, $20 for a paperback book is freaking expensive. But it is cool because this particular edition says that it has like new bonus content included. It's not gonna focus, is it? There you go. And then also what I really liked about it is, like, look at the decal of the dragons on the side. It's so cool. Look how cool that is. I'm a big How to Train Your Dragon girly. Like, that was one of my childhood favorite, like, comfort movies. So anything with dragons is, like, an immediate yes for me. And, like, dragon riding is even more, like, mwah. So I am excited to read this book. And if you are late to the game, like me, and you don't know what this book is about, pause to read the synopsis. All I know pretty much going into it is dragon riding. Dragon riding, competition, life or death kind of vibe, and I'm sold. So I have added 2 new books to my library. So with all of that being said and done, that's 2 out of the 3 goals that I had for today's vlog done. That leaves the exciting part that I am very much looking forward to end off this vlog, and that is trying to bake these vegan apple cider donuts. So I live in a very small little studio apartment, if you couldn't tell already, and I wanted to make this process as simple as possible because I have a small kitchen. So I'm not going to be like peeling and boiling apples from scratch with this recipe. I am just going to be using like apple cider and applesauce kind of ingredients to make this work. I will put up, I'll probably have it scrolling on the screen, the recipe that I'm going to be using, that I'm going to be trying out today. And I'm just excited to see how this turns out because I would love to have some good apple cider donuts, and it would be nice to actually have something sweet to share with my coworkers tomorrow, so we'll see. I am going to go assemble all of the ingredients that I need in the kitchen, and let's just get this started. Let's see how this goes. bye.